Hello ladies and gentlemen, hope you're all doing well. Sharif here, welcome to the channel. Well, what do I have today? The Rincoe Jellybox Nano. What a lovely piece of kit that is. I mean, you can see, it's all translucent, so you can see the board, you can see the battery, you can see, the buttons, the LEDs, and all that stuff. Really good innovation, lovely innovation. As you can see, it's all transparent there. It's 1000 milliamp hour worth of a battery. It only weighs 70 grams, so it's relatively light. Fires between 10 and 30 watts, depending on the coil that is inside the pod. It comes with two coils, 0.5 for the RDL, 1.0 for the MTL, and it comes with a lanyard, a few bits and pieces, manual and auto. So let's go and have a look at it. I've done a bit of close-up to show you, the beauty of it and the translucence and all that stuff. And we'll come back and vape on it and tell you a bit more about it. Let's go. The box. That's the box it comes in. You can see there, that's the mod itself, and it comes by way of sticker with the color that you choose. You got the CE marking there, and you got your social media there as well. That's the contents of it, which we'll go through with you. Scratch and check for authenticity, and a barcode there. A decent manual there, and it just tells you what you need to know. Also with some colors there as well. The Rincoe after sales service and warranty card. You fill that one in for your warranty. I like this one, the warm prompt. I mean, it tells you, how to treat it or how to use the coils and, and these things. It says the 0.5 is for RDL, free base liquid, and the 1 ohm coil is for MTL use and nic salt, although I use free base on both of them and they're working perfectly fine. Your Type-C cable is included as well. A nice lanyard there, Jellybox written on it, nothing really, in your face as such. Quite a nice addition, really. And the coils, you get these are the two coils that you get in there. This is the 1 ohm coil, and it says there 10 to 14 watts. They're both mesh. You can see there I don't know whether you can see, it's quite a narrow ball in there. We'll compare it in a second. This is the 0.5 for RDL use, and it says there 20 to 28 watts. You can see, the diameter on that one is a bit narrower in there. I don't know whether you can see the inside of it, but there is the diameter on the mesh 0.5 is a bit wider inside to allow for more air to go in for the restricted direct lung use. And here is the mod itself. That's what it looks like, and that's your airflow here, which we'll test it a bit further on. You got the Rincoe there. Well, that's the battery there. Very nicely made, very innovative idea really. And that's your board there, you can see. And from the other side you can see your Type-C plug is in there, which is here. A Jellybox Nano designed by Rincoe and the CE marking. The button, it's an auto and manual on that one, so you don't have to use the button, you just take a drag. But the button is 5 clicks, obviously, on and off. And when you press the button, that will be your battery indicator in here. So it's at green now, and it goes blue and then red when it's time to charge, and it does last quite a bit. And you got the vaping LEDs there, which are really bright in there, as you can see. And as you're vaping, it goes in a sequence. Like you see now, that's white, then it goes to blue, and then it goes to red. They are very bright, I have to say, but you can switch them off. 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, and you'll be left to the green one, which is the battery indicator only. Which is good. If you are in a dark place, it almost is like a flashlight, really. Only 70 grams. I mean, given the size of it, it's relatively, very light. The airflow is here, and it's a short travel, but I can tell you it's a very effective one. And it's maybe you find it a bit fiddly, but nevertheless it's very effective, and it doesn't slide very quickly, so you cannot sort of accidentally just move it around. However, once it's adjusted, I've adjusted it for the MTL use around about that that side here, just a bit off the the full closed one. and it's never it never moved since. That's the pod, as you can see there, all translucent, brilliant. A really very innovative idea in there. The coil is just pull and push, so there is no screwing or anything like that. And you can see there, this is a 2.8 mil capacity. You will get the 2 mil one, and the filling is quite a decent size in here. So there is an arrow there that you can, is there. There's an arrow there for filling as well, so which side to lift, and all you do is just lift it, and it does swivel, as well. And that's your filling hole there, which is quite a decent size, for liquid to go in and air to come out. And then all you do is you just do that, and that's it. When you put the pod in, you get a flash on the green side here. It tells you that it has acknowledged the pod there. Size wise, it's 68 or thereabouts millimeters by 54, and say 2 centimeters. They say 1.9. So the battery is 1000 milliamp hour for that one. On an MTL basis, it certainly does a day and a half, if not more, for it to go to the red. For RDL, I would say probably it will do just about the day or short of. So there you have it. That's the Rincoe Jellybox Nano. Let's go and vape on it and try the 2 coils and see what's it like and tell you a bit more about it. Now I got the 1.0 coil that is in this particular one. This is the all clear one. I just love the look of these things. Look at it. I mean, you can see everything. It's quite an innovation. To be able to see, the board, the plug, the battery, and all that. So it's quite different. Now we're talking about functionality in here. Let's leave the looks and all that. But the functionality of it, it really is an MTL and an RDL. They both work very well. I have the airflow almost closed, almost. It's not fully closed, and it gives me a very satisfying MTL, mouth to lung experience. And that's the auto. You can see the amount of vapor is very very good for a mouth to lung experience. We don't want clouds. I mean, we'll try the clouds in a moment. Now, if I close it all together, that's on an auto basis. Now that becomes quite tight, maybe a bit too tight for my liking, but it's there, for people that want, a very tight MTL draw. Now I've been doing it all along with the auto. Let's try the button now. The throat hit doesn't get affected very much. The only thing that you will notice with the button on whichever, especially on the the very closed airflow, you notice a bit the heat becomes a bit more. It's nowhere near hot as as such, but the warmth will increase. Let's put it that way. Now let's try the RDL side of things. So which I got on here on auto. You can see, obviously the vapor, obviously increases, quite a bit in there, and that's on auto. Let's do it with the button. You can see, it's quite satisfying. I'm predominantly a mouth to lung user, but every now and then, I like to do a bit of RDL, a bit clouds, and I know that, but it does work very very well on the RDL of things as well. As for flavor, it depicts the flavor very well. I got my own 3-4 liquids that I turn over all the time, so I know what the liquids should taste like. So the flavor is really good on those coils, which is a really good point in there. Throat hit is equally, just as good. Throat hit also depends on what sort of strength nicotine you have in there. So if you have an 18 mg, like me, you get a strong throat hit. So if it's too high, then reduce your nicotine. But throat hit is tied to a large extent to the strength of the nicotine that you got in your liquids. Now with MTL use, because the air is quite restricted in there. When you take a drag, the sensor stays with you. This is annoying, with so many other ones. But this one, the sensor stays with you. It doesn't cut off, a fraction before when you want it to finish. So that's a very big plus point, because there's quite a few of them. Although they have improved a lot, in the past year or so, the sensors. But nevertheless, I have to mention it because a lot of people get annoyed. I get annoyed with the sensor cutting off before I finish the puff. The LEDs. The LEDs are too bright for my liking, and what they've done is they've given us the option of switching them off, so you can almost use it as a flashlight if you are in a dark room or something like that. The green light with the indicator, for the battery, the green, blue, red, that stays all the time because it acknowledges the pod as well when you put it in there. Another plus point is the coils. It's just pull and put a new one in, and that's it. They work effectively. Another point as well, leaking is a thing of the past, to a very large extent. Is in so many ones of them, but this particular one, I haven't experienced any leaking at all. However, there is condensation that will occur from time to time, especially on the RDL, because there's a lot of heat that goes in there. We're talking about 20 to 30 watts. 30 watts is quite high temperature in there. And given the ambient temperature, condensation will happen. It's like when you get in a car on a cold day. Your windows just mist up, straight away. So my advice, and I said it in many videos, and I keep saying it in all the videos, in the hope that people will, will take it and, will do it. And every time you fill, we're lucky in that way because you have to pull the pod to fill it. So that's an advantage in a way, really. So every time you fill, have a look at the contacts. Piece of tissue, a piece of cotton bud, something like that. If there is any condensation in there, just try it. It will preserve your battery and the sensor, and it make it last longer. So, do I recommend it? I certainly do recommend it because I like an MTL, experience on that one. And RDL from time to time, which I do, and it's a proper RDL. It's not a direct lung, it's a restricted direct lung, and there is a lot of people that are into that category. The innovation, I certainly like this, transparent thing. Transparency, and you can see all the bits and pieces as I showed you before. Everything is there in front of you to see, and it's a very effective piece of kit as well. So yes, I would recommend it, and if you have any comments, please leave them at the bottom there, and I'll answer you as soon as I possibly can, as I usually do. I have been doing that for quite a long time. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Thank you. Bye bye.